because the Tigers just released something here.
Okay.
All right, so here's the I'm gonna skip around this press release a little bit. The Detroit Tigers have named innovative and experienced executive Jeff Greenberg as the club's general manager. Greenberg, 37, will report to President of Baseball Operations Scott Harris, and joins the Tigers after spending the last 16 months as associate GM of the Chicago Blackhawks. So Harris's quote, "I am thrilled to add an executive of Jeff's quality to our baseball operations leadership team. Throughout this search, it was important for me to find someone who can fit seamlessly into the culture we are building here. I also wanted to bring in someone with a fresh perspective and new ideas," tougher on the blue line, "that could challenge us on a daily basis and make us all better as we strive towards our goal of bringing postseason baseball back to Detroit. We're excited to welcome Jeff, his wife Erin, and their sons Leo and Sam to the Tigers family." Story goes on to say, or the press release goes on to say,
well, they work together in Chicago.
in the most recent role with the Blackhawks, Greenberg oversaw the strategic systems. This sounds a lot like the story you wrote. They oversaw the strategic systems and processes in hockey operations. He worked all functions of hockey operations, including scouting, development, coaching, and operations, to establish and optimize a modern, continually evolving approach. So he's been with an intern with the Pirates, the Diamondbacks, and Major League Baseball. He did a lot of internships. He's a graduate of Columbia Law School. Ooh. And the University of Pennsylvania. So he's a dumb guy. Okay. All right, we got another Ivy League guy. And
when did he attend? When was he at Columbia? Because Scott Harris is also from Columbia.
Columbia Law School, 2011. Graduated.
They're like the same age, aren't they?
Yeah,
young.
These guys grew up together. I mean, they probably went to school together there. They
partied together.
They partied together. They know the. No, but they work with.
They seriously, they played fantasy baseball together, and then now running the Tigers.
You know what we should do? We should do this for a living.
Yes.
We're that good at fantasy baseball.
This is an awesome dream, though, right?
These guys are living the
dream.
They are
living the dream.
Now they better be good at it, because our fate is wrapped up in their.
But they were together with the Cubs back in the 2012 to 20 range or whatever it was, and during that time when the 11 years he spent with the Cubs coincides with the time that Scott Harris is with the Cubs. But that's actually it's pretty. Hopefully it works. You're right. Number one, please God work out.
Yeah.
On a side note, it is such an awesome thing to be able to, if you've got a friend and you guys come up together and you work together and you're like, hey, I got a gig over here. At some point, I'm bringing you along.
When you're like between the ages of 16 and 24, 25, fantasy sports are a huge part of your life. And these guys, I don't know why I'm assuming they played fantasy baseball together.
Probably did.
But if they went to college together.
Doug, you're spot on. Yeah. I think these guys are like, they played fantasy baseball together, dude. I'm like, hey, man, we're really good at this.
And now they're.
But this is what happens when you get to this the management side of it, is that it can cross germinate, if you will. You can, if you do it in football, maybe you can do it in baseball, do it in hockey, do it in basketball. There are guys all over the place in sports that have come from different backgrounds that are all with sports.
If it's been said it's been said a million times. For a baseball team, one of the hardest things to do is to win the Stanley Cup.
It is.
They've said, that's said. Yeah. That's written.
But if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Tigers PR director, Ron Colangelo, I believe he has a hockey background.
Does he? That's a little bit different, though. If you're in baseball operations, which means you're making baseball decisions, it's.
But if it's based
here's the deal. The Blackhawks took a bigger risk than the Tigers are. The guy's background is baseball. The Blackhawks hired him, and now the Tigers have hired him back to baseball. And if you're going to be like suspicious of who's making a weird move, it was the Blackhawks more than the Tigers.
But I know a guy who worked in a general manager type capacity for a minor league baseball team and also with the Canadian Football League team.
Right.
Like that was on his resume. I'm just saying that going from sport to sport, it's not crazy to think that, because it's about different processes that they're putting in place.
Well, it's true, because apparently Greenberg did play fantasy hockey as well, Gator.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
That makes sense. No, but seriously.
I feel less like this guy. This is so it's a little bit out there.
Familiar with Shane Gostisbehere?
But in all
Up
seriousness,
and coming, babe.
they're young guys, and I think the Tigers are going way more analytical. I don't know how people feel about that, but this is like a stat, like, kill them with stats, and this is the launch angle and the whole nine, right? Yeah. They're all in. This is...
not to get too baseball heavy here, but I was thinking about, because, I think about baseball all the time. I was thinking last night about the future of the Tigers and how different it feels now compared to what it was like a year ago when they're like, who do they have? They have no bats coming up or anything like that. They literally have like 5 bats right now at the AAA level that are going to be competing for jobs with the Tigers because they have been hitting tremendously, whether it's Colt Keith or Malloy or Eddie's Leonard, who's a guy they got from the Dodgers. Justice Bigby has just been killing it at every level he's gone to, including the AAA level. Then Chase Young, who they drafted before the Scott Harris era. That's another guy who is matriculated very quickly and he's killing it in Double-A. I mean, they've got a bunch of bats that I feel like in the next couple of years, they're emulating what he wants, right?
Yeah, 2 things. Chase Young.
Sorry, what did I say?
It sounded like you said Chase.
No, I meant Jays.
Right, but it sounded like just.
I got quick. I was excited.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just want to make sure that people doesn't think you're referring to a defensive end. And 2,
no, it's a defenseman.
Kang, any excuse this guy has to reel off Tiger minor league stats, he loves it. He just loves it.
I do.
You love emptying that bucket.
100%. 100%.
Hey, Doug, did you know?
Yeah.
Single A.
Yeah, exactly. If I didn't do it on the air, I do it between commercial breaks, and Doug's just rolling his eyes.
No, but that's not for you.
Okay, here we go.